One Indiana lead in the exhibition. They've created a powerhouse here in Bloomington, and one woman is behind it. For more, we send it to Talia.
Thanks so much, guys. Since Terry Morin arrived here in Bloomington 11 years ago, she has really built this IU program up to a point of national relevance. From sold-out crowds to 6th NCAA appearances, she's really built this up to a place where it's regarded as one of the best programs in the country. And she credits the main reason for that as the community of Bloomington, but mostly the people around her. She's really focused on recruiting the right kids into the program, and they didn't have a single Hoosier enter the transfer portal this offseason, which is a rarity in the current college landscape, and a testament to what she's done here in Bloomington. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Talia. We start quarter number 4, and just to the point about the way this program has grown, the sold-out crowds. We talked about those big games that are coming here, USC, UCLA. This place will certainly be filled for one of the top programs in terms of attendance in the last year.
Yeah, I mean, the big-time marquee matchups last season when the Iowa Hawkeyes were here, it was 17,000 strong at Assembly Hall. And the crowd pop was real. And what Coach Morin has done, it's special to the program. It's a state that bleeds basketball, and it's only deserving that the program has followed and the support has followed along with a team that's really worked so hard to gain that support as well.
Continually breaking records in attendance, and now it's not attendance record, it's sellout records they're going for, trying to continue as Kendlikova charging in, stuffed at the rim by Burgos. Now Olivia Hahn. Helen Ben entering the game. Looks to kick out to Burgos. Extra pass, another 3. That one's off the mark by Katie Flynn. Another transfer. Juco from John Wood. 3 ball from Lamandola off. Both these two programs have really emerged in the last decade or so. For Maryville, it was originally making a D3 to D2 jump, and now underhand, it's become working their way up in their respective conference, which they have done in the last few years. Ben tries a contested jumper, no good. Indiana by 55 here in this exhibition contest. Lamandola guarded by Ben. Garzone. Meister, turnaround, Jay, that's good.
I mean, that's just going to be the part of their game that a lot of eyes are going to be on that. If she's able to do that in the regular season, in the Big Ten slate, hit those, 18-footers right there.
Sandvik will slow it down to Garzone. Now Lamandola fakes the shot. Meister again. Kicks out wide. Sandvik feeds in to Garzone, trying to use her height. Rejected on the first time, and off the mark on the second. Good defense there from Hahn.
It looked like Garzone didn't go up strong on that second attempt. Had the rebound, just kind of threw it back up, maybe trying to look for a foul or something like that.
3 ball off from Flynn. Really good 3-point shooter. Added into the program from the portal. The Indiana basketball. This is what Maryville's got coming up in the start of their Division II slate. Wisconsin Parkside, game number 1 on the schedule after these 2 D1 exhibitions that they've played. Tried and tested.
Yeah, 5 non-con opponents. Then they'll have their first conference game on November 27th against McKendree. Picked to finish 3rd in the preseason poll. Should be a good test for Maryville and their first conference opponent.
Kendlikova. Out to Garzone. Her 3, that's pure. Garzone and Meister, the only 2 starters left on the court for Indiana, getting an extended run at it here. Miranda Patterson now off to Flynn. Taken away by Garzone. 1 player to beat, loses out to Ben. Drives in, tries the acrobatics, gets her own rebound. That one's off.
Again there, Meister's just present in the paint to derail shots or force an awkward look. She can be a dangerous presence in that paint area this season.
Both Hoosier starters with 18. Here's Meister looking to change it against Burgos. Strong finish. Can't get the final drop, but will go shoot 2. Foul on Burgos. Her first. Cameron Winch entering for the Saints. Sophomore center from the state of Missouri.
Well, I think the biggest thing, again, when looking at the scoreline like this, yes, it's a 60-point game, but again, it's an exhibition, and it's a D2 to D1 jump for Maryville. It's not really something that you're deep diving into the film about this. It's to get your team reps before the season actually gets going.
Getting that kind of test against a team like Indiana, doesn't really matter what the score is, as you say. It's going to feel a lot easier. A 3-ball from Flynn. That one's off the mark. And rebound Sandvik. And a block by Flynn. Recollects. 2-on-2 now with Meister back. Blocked by Sandvik. And out of play, it's Hoosier basketball. It's like, you know, when you try and do something extremely difficult, you up the reps, say, in a workout on the weight, and then it feels so much easier when you're doing lighter.
Well, I mean, this is a program, a team that Coach Hand mentioned that they're gym rats. They love to live in the gym. They have good work ethic, a lot of youth to their game, but they want to work hard. And she mentioned that if they go out and are the hardest working team, that it's going to be hard to beat them when the time comes. Obviously, it is a big jump, a top 25 opponent in the D1 landscape, but they've shown that they still have the fight. They've been working hard defensively in this fourth quarter. They've been trying to scrap for some offensive rebounds, so it is noticeable that the effort.
Here's Patterson, redshirt freshman from Shobina, Missouri. Ben held up by Garzone. Shot clock at 8. Charging in, needs some help. Hahn, elbow jumper, bounces out, and on the second attempt, it's Winch.
It's been a consistent lineup here. See Charnice Curry-Jelks at the scores table.
Garzone fighting through contact, wanted a third. You can tell the fight in these two teams. We had that earlier little back and forth as Hahn charges in. Her kick out is wide to her own bench, but you had a little bit of back and forth in the paint earlier. Then you have Garzone saying, hey, I want that foul despite the scoreline of the game. That just shows what these two teams want out of this game. But Indiana lead 86-23 in exhibition basketball. We'll step aside here on Big Time Plus. Welcome back to Simon Scott Assembly Hall. Alex Hines, Joe Cronin here. Indiana's upcoming schedule. They host a pair of Ivies in the upcoming slate. They got Columbia down the pipe as well. They head to the Bahamas later for Thanksgiving break. Oh, that's got to be a fun trip.
Yeah, we'll see how relaxing it is considering all the basketball that they'll be playing. But some of those other matchups to be determined because it is the tournament style. And with that interesting non-con road test at Butler just up the road in Indianapolis should be an interesting one. Obviously, Butler in that Big East conference. And then, of course, the home battle against Stanford, a new ACC opponent. We talked a little bit of the conference realignment. How weird is that? Stanford is in the Atlantic Coast Conference. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, sure. Here's Chesky. Indiana, just the one starter in, that is Chesky. Curry Jelks has entered as well. Has the ball here. Fights through contact, no good. Good defense by Winch. More on that Stanford game, Joe. It's a new look Stanford as well. They lose Cameron Brink. She gets drafted. Tara Vanderveer, one of the best coaches, period, in college basketball. No longer after retiring. There's Lamandola the other way. Pass wayward. But it's going to be an interesting game because for Indiana it'll be a revenge game from last year in Palo Alto. But it's going to be an interesting look for a team that's not in the polls to start the year.
Yeah, I mean, I think losing one of the top picks in this past WNBA draft with Cameron Brink and everything different within the program, didn't quite crack into that top 25. They're still a very talented team. And I imagine with Terry Morin and company, they're going to want that one back. They went out west and really laid a stinker. So I imagine they're going to have a little chip on their shoulder for that one. Obviously, they always say take it one game at a time. It's the most important game because it's the next game. Quote from IU Football's own Kurt Signetti. But, yeah, I imagine that one will have a little more feelings around it for the returnees of this Indiana squad.
Curry Jelks on the other end getting her first bucket of the contest. Here's Ben. Guarded by Sandvik, looking for some support. Can't get a cut. Fade away with 2 on the shot clock. Taken away by Indiana. And holding up the Saints. The moment that you go stationary, it's so difficult against this Indiana team. Here's Chesky. She tries a 3. That one banks in.
Banks open.
Intentional or not, it counts.
Maybe we'll ask her tonight, and she said she meant to do it. But regardless, the lone starter on the floor for Indiana.
Her second 3 here in the new uniform. Played a couple times against the Hoosiers with the Nittany Lions of Penn State. Fighting through contact, Flynn, and 1.
Katie Flynn. Good up and under move right there. Had Chesky swatting down. Transferred from John Wood Community College. She averaged just under 20 points per game. And we're talking about this, prepping for this broadcast, just about how talented she was over in NAIA. Makes the jump to D2. Will be interesting to see how she fares at that level.
Flynn misses the extra. That's another thing that's going to be strong for this Maryville team is the free throw shooting. They got 3 players that were in 80%, 85% or above. Stugart led the Saints last year. Plemer was 3rd on the team, and then 87% from Flynn. The 2 from Kadlikova.
There's her first bucket.
It's a good chance for first these exhibition games. Get a little bit of extra comfort. A nice feed from Ben into Winch.
Might have had a little bit of the announcer's jinx, as we like to call it, with the free throw shooting. Maryville is 6 for 11 from the stripe today, but that will definitely be something. If there is anything film-wise to watch, it's, hey, these are the free throws. This is what, as a team, we should be good at.
Curry Jelks off the mark with a 3. 93-27 Indiana. Ben charging in, jump, stop, blocked away. Curry Jelks saves it, but only so far.
Very interesting player that Curry Jelks is now a junior. She was a freshman season at UT Martin 2 seasons ago, was the OVC freshman of the year, was a first team all Ohio Valley Conference as well. Came over to here last year to IU. Didn't see a ton of action, but has the talent for sure.
Charging in and blocked away by Curry-Jelks. There she is. It was Patterson who tried the shot. Curry-Jelks saying not so fast. Another one of those tall post players, stands 6'2". Looking for the feed, gets it. Against Winch with the right, off the glass.
All power right there from Curry-Jelks. Good quick move right when she got the ball.
Maryville running through Ben here with the second unit in. Ball on the floor. Indiana come away with it.
That was just a great steal there by Chesky, especially defending in the post like that.
Under a minute. Chesky holds on to it. And Morin calling a timeout just for the substitution to come in. Get Wiseman another crack in the final 46 seconds and change.
47.5 seconds remaining in this one. Hoosiers were able to take care of business in their exhibition. Like we mentioned, the pair of Ivies that they have to start the regular season, both here at Assembly Hall.
Kadlikova looking for Wiseman, does corral it, but she's blocked by Ben. With 35 to go, it'll be taken by Maryville. 6 seconds between shot and game clock here in quarter number 4. Patterson. Chesky for company. Working around the arc. Ben tries that jump stop shot again, no good. Rebound by Winch, second effort, skies it up. It'll bounce a couple times off the top of the backboard and out of play, but won't matter with the foul.
Winch will get some extra reps at the charity stripe before this one wraps up. I imagine Indiana just going to hold on for those last 14 seconds after whether they get the rebound or the inbound.
Winch at the line. First one won't go. 27 points for Maryville. Joe, again, there's nothing you can take away from the scoreline.
Right.
What do you think that the message will be from Coach Hand coming out of this game?
I mean, it's just like, did you enjoy the moment? You're at a historic venue, Assembly Hall, and really did they put 100% effort on the floor? And if they feel like they did that, then you can hang your hat on a game like that, because that's really what it comes down to, is putting everything on the floor.
Indiana can dribble out the clock, and they win 95-27. Their first introduction to Assembly Hall in this 2024-25 season before they kick things off next Monday for real this time against Brown. Again, Maryville will have their own action against Wisconsin Parkside as they kick off their Division II non-conference schedule in the upcoming days. First time for both these teams really getting a chance to get that game action out there, Joe. Talked about Maryville. For Indiana, what'd you see, especially looking at that second unit getting a chance to come in, those newcomers?
Yeah, it's good for the second unit to get those reps to, Kadlikova getting her first buckets, Wiseman getting her first minutes, Curry-Jelks getting a bucket here in this season's. But I think the biggest thing to notice is about Sydney Parrish, the injury. But you see there, Hoosiers, it was rough from the field, 37% from the field. I don't really think you can look at that. This isn't something you really dive deep into the film. It's, hey, you got your players' reps. The team is on the court for the first time. They're back at home. But again, I do want to mention the Sydney Parrish status. That is something to note moving forward, how long the timetable is, whether it's her, whether Bargester's still in and out of the lineup. Definitely some marquee players to be on the lookout for this Indiana squad from the injury side. And so early in the season, an exhibition, you just hate to see that from a coaching side, from a fan side, from really any standpoint, especially, again, in an exhibition.
And a chance for these fans to see these two teams for the first time. And again, Joe, the other thing, the 37% from three for Indiana, maybe not where they want it to be, but the fact that they shot at good volume, which is what they tend to do, and have done so again. Very shortly, we will hear from Lily Meister. But, Joe, you got to see a little bit more of her skill set. We talked about her trying to spread the floor a bit, and she definitely looked the part today.
Right. I mean, she was comfortable, and that was the biggest thing. She didn't look frantic at all, and that's good. You understand the caliber of opponent, but she came in and did her job and was comfortable in places outside of the paint, which was the biggest emphasis that we were talking about at the top of the broadcast throughout, and just the development of her game.
Well, Lily Meister is down with Talia.
Guys, Lily, what was it like hearing your name called at the beginning of the game, making your second career start as a Hoosier?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. It's kind of like a dream come true, you know. This is what I worked for. This was a big goal of mine, so I'm really proud of myself.
You were patient for it, and it came. A new career high for you tonight, 19 points. What did you want to show Hoosier Nation in Assembly Hall?
You know, hard work pays off. You learn a lot from the sidelines. I obviously learned a lot playing my last 2 years here, and it's all paid off, clearly.
Lily, what's the ceiling for this new look Hoosiers team this season?
I mean, sky's the limit, you know, just like every other season. The goals are still the same. We're still the same gritty Hoosiers, so nothing's changed really.
Thanks so much, Lily. Great game.
Thank you.
Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Talia. Look at some of the highlights from this one. And Joe, again, some good action for both these teams. Just trying to learn themselves this year.
Yeah, it's really just getting down to the basics. Get in, get out, take care of some business, get the second unit some reps, fine-tune some things, because next week it all matters. It's all for rear, and it's all for the record books.
Well, the final score here in this one, Indiana 9.